And this is Baileigh.
Hi.
And I'm going to let her and Mallory share what's happened in her family.
So there's a lot of people here. Hi. I was told to tell the fruit of this story. I've been stressing about it all day. And I decided that the whole story is the fruit, the whole thing. So I'm not even going to try to rush it. I'm just going to tell you from the beginning. So a little backstory. Me and my sister grew up, and we were inseparable. We were 4 years apart. We never shared a bedroom, but we still slept in the same bedroom because we refused to be in separate ones. And I moved away, and we didn't really speak for a long time, and I moved back in. This is 2020. So TikTok was really big, really growing, and the crystals and being a witch and this new age modern thing was being pushed on young girls. And her stepdad and my mom went through a really, really nasty divorce, and she's still seeing the effects of that divorce. And so when that happened, she really didn't have anybody. I had to move away, and she really dug into this. She told me she was a witch and that there was nothing I could do to change her mind. And so fast forward about 3 weeks ago, I responded to an altar call. I came up here, and I couldn't tell you what the service was about. And I knelt at this altar, and Jesus said, "Save Juliet." I said, "I'm sorry, what?" And it was a little word in the back of my mind. And I was like, "Okay, say it again, because I don't believe that was you." And he didn't. And I was like, "No, I know it was." And so I kind of forgot about it for about a week. And then Todd White did his service. And I came back up, and I said, "I have to be filled with the Holy Spirit. I want to be absolutely filled with the Holy Spirit, because I have to save this little girl, and I don't know how to do it without him." So I brought it up to Mallory and all of the girls of our life group at lunch afterwards, and Mallory says, "Have you ever heard of prayer and fasting?" I said, "Yeah, but I didn't know that we actually did that." She was like, "No, yeah, we actually do that." And I was like, yeah, and I kind of just dismissed it, and I was like, whatever, like, yes, that's a thing, but that's not for me. I'm not worthy enough for that. And so on Thursday morning, I had a meeting with Paige, and she works really closely with a lot of the youth girls. And I was like, I'm gonna ask her what to do. I know that she'll know. And it was about 9 a.m. and I was still thinking about fasting. I said I could do it for 48 hours before I see her. And I just played a random podcast on my TV. Guess what it was about? Prayer and fasting. So I listened to the whole thing, and I really dug into it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm starting today. So I have coffee with Paige, and she's like, tells me everything that there is to know. And I'm like, okay, I got this. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of Jesus in everywhere. And every time it was quiet, I was in prayer. I was at work, it was quiet, I'm in prayer. I'm just absolutely listening to everything he has to say to me, paying attention to every detail. And I see her Friday night, and her whole house covered in crystals and tapestries. I mean, it's her whole personality. Everything about her, all of her friends. She has an atheist boyfriend, so in the world. She also lives alone. She's 17. That's not even important. But she lives alone, so she has no guidance. And Saturday morning, we wake up, and I'm just sprinkling Jesus in every conversation. We're on a hike. I'm telling her how cool it is that Jesus made this. We're driving. I'm playing worship music. She's like, "Turn it off. I don't want to listen to this." And I was like, "No, you need to respect my religion just like I respect yours." And I'm like, I got this. Like, I can't push it on her, so I'm just sprinkling it. Well, Saturday night, as two young girls, we decided to go on a walk in the dark. Shouldn't have done that. Well, we had a near-death experience with somebody, and we actually got chased through the woods and had to call the cops. Well, she was just freaking out when we get home. She puts a hammer under her pillow, like she's just freaking out, and she tells me how these crystals are gonna heal us and we're gonna be fine. And I'm like, okay, Jesus is gonna heal us, but we're gonna be fine. So I go to bed, think nothing of it. About 5 o'clock in the morning, she's rustling, just moving around the house, and I'm like, what is going on? And I get mad at her because I'm sleeping, and she says, "I have to tell you about what happened to me last night." And I said, "What?" She said, "I couldn't sleep, so I started praying, and I gave my life to Jesus because I didn't know what else to do. This morning, I spent all day getting rid of every crystal in the house, every incense, all of it, it's gone." And I get up, and I go, "Destroy hell!" And she's like, "What?" And that's not even the coolest part. So I'm telling her, and I'm like, "Yes, this is so good. And I say, "Okay, can I tell you something?" I've been praying for this for 2 weeks. And I tell her about how I started praying and fasting, and all the girls are praying for her, and we're just all so excited about it. And she goes, did you start that on Thursday? I say, yeah. She said, the thoughts have been flooding my brain since Thursday before you even said anything to me. I've been knowing that he was coming for me, and I was ignoring him. And I'm like, wow. Oh my goodness. So it's Sunday, we go to church. She's got her hands raised. She is worshiping the Lord. I mean, complete heart change overnight. I had no idea what was going on. We picked out a prayer journal for her. She filled that thing 2-3 pages, more notes than I even could take in one service. And we leave, and she asks me to go get her a cross necklace to match mine so she can replace it. She breaks up with her atheist boyfriend, and she's just doing great. So fast forward, I leave for a week, and back in 2020 when we lived together, I painted this Bible, and I gave it to her as a gift because I told her that the Lord was knocking, and she was like, no. And I never heard about it again, never saw it again. Well, I come back on Sunday, and that same Bible that I had painted for her, she had in her room, and she was highlighting in it and showed me all this stuff, and it was from years ago. I planted that seed years ago, and it was just such a cool experience. She has told all her friends about it. Her entire group of witch friends are now going to Jesus and going to church and have joined a life group. And I got to see the Lord use me and save her and show me how real and cool he was, and it was just the absolute coolest experience I've ever experienced.